this is one of the most underrated things people don't think about when it comes to HYROX. It's these types of workouts. This isn't just another hybrid training block. This is the road to HYROX World Championships. I'm teaming up with my mate Eric Hinman as we compete in doubles pro in Dallas. And we have one goal: to make it to Stockholm. I'm going to take you through the training philosophy, modalities, and what you can do to improve your HYROX or training hybrid style. So if you train hybrid or you're looking to improve your HYROX times, strap on in. This series is for you. Morning legends. So Eric and I trained a few weeks ago, and that really helped identify our strengths and our weaknesses and where we need to make up that time. Ultimately, we are tracking for around a 56 to 57 minute HYROX Pro doubles time, even less. Realistically, that's the mark we should hit. And anything greater is gonna really ensure we're going to Stockholm. Anything less, we're not gonna make it. Throughout this mini series, I'm not only gonna be training with Eric, but I'm also gonna be training with one of the elite 15 athletes and be informed by their coach on where I need to make up my time. We're gonna break down techniques, strategy, and best practices when it comes to training modality. One of the things I do every Sunday night is write out my plan for the week that encompasses not just my workout routines, but my plans in general for the week that I have to execute on. Then you get a bit more granular and you work out the actual training plan. Now today's exercise is really specifically targeting areas that I'm trying to make up seconds at HYROX. So we're beginning with a nice easy warm-up, 12 minutes on the rower, and we have 3 different pods, each of which is going to be targeting something that I can definitely make up time on. And that's something you should be doing when building out your HYROX program. This exercise has been a game changer for me, and gonna let Jake Dearden's coach in a couple of episodes share more on it. A great warm-up, a great primer for those running in that plane of motion. So again, constantly learning what's the percentages that you can gain along the way, and 1 to 2% over the course of a race, massive. So in this next pod, I'm working on an every 2 minutes on the minute cycle, and the idea is to allow myself to have enough rest to maintain my threshold at each rep. Because when Eric and I are going, after the runs, we're gonna have a little rest in between the both of us. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So the actual workout is between ski erg and burpee over the box jump. In 2 minutes, I've gotta be able to do 20 cows and then 15 over the box burpees. So it's chest to ground over the top. So, realistically, I want to get like 20 seconds rest in between each work. 5 rounds of 10 minutes of work. Short and sharp, get it jacked the heart rate, it's going to suck. But you lock in. For the next 10 minutes, you watch me in pain. Let's play some epic montage music. See you later. Wowza. Try that one at home. Scale it accordingly. The hope is that you can find ways to adjust your training based on the principles that I do, that I learn, that I research, and fuck. Oh. All right, well, we got wall balls. We actually got 50 wall balls unbroken with a 1 minute rest in between times 3. about building on where you're at and adding an extra 10%. And you know, cumulatively, that's 150 wall balls. So for me, it's like an extra 50% of what I actually need to do on the day. So it's like doing a marathon training and you're building up time on feet. You know, you end up doing sometimes 100, 110 Ks, 80 miles a week. Marathon's only 42, only 26 miles. So you're cumulatively that week almost twice as what you need to be. Sort of building up reps throughout the training block is where it's really helpful. Right, team, we are back in the kitchen and we are cooking cena, or also known as dinner. I'm learning Italian right now, if you didn't know, so it's yeah, it's getting me far. Whilst I've talked extensively on this channel around being conscious of the amount of fat you're having around your workout, I've only talked about it from one lens, and that is that it simply slows down the ability to quickly absorb proteins and carbohydrates because fat's more dense. It takes more energy to burn to break it down. The other thing about it though is it simply keeps you fuller for longer. So if you're someone who, like me, is requiring to take on more carbohydrates to support the day's work, and as I'm doing 2 to 3 sessions today, or in general for HYROX, that is me. Now, I know I'm on the extreme case, but if you're someone who's struggling to get in the carbohydrates you should look at your fat intake. And if your fat intake is relatively high, it may be impeding your ability to actually consume more just purely by feeling. So today's lesson isn't just around controlling the amount of fat you have around your workout, it's actually a total amount you have in general that could be impeding your total amount of carbs and protein you're taking on. Now, to those wonderful roasted potatoes. These are the aforementioned potatoes. Now, these have been just a godsend, and learning to make potatoes super crispy is someone like, you can make a really good roast potato to about 90%. As a chef, you get to learn the last 10%. Here's 2 things I will say. Once you boil these, you want to then shake them out. So give them a little rough around the edges, and then you want to add oil to a sheet tray, put it in the oven solo. Then when you take them out, you're gonna then add your potatoes, which have been roughed out, onto the tray. You'll start to see them sizzle up. You can see this. See, that's why it's got that little extra golden edge on it. That's purely because the sheet tray was already hot before going in, and they've had some just extra fun and games. Now, these guys have been sitting out for about 30 minutes because they've already had some extra TLC in the oven, come out to cool down. I'm gonna put them back in again, and they're gonna be even crispier. Now, my build to a good meatball: stock, cold stock, breadcrumbs, and then a good set of seasoning agents. So it could be obviously just salt and pepper, your herbs, whatever it may be. But the trick truly is to make meatballs really juicy, add stock to them with some breadcrumbs, and then just let them sit for a little bit. They get really squishy. Balsamico vinegar. Can you hear this? Look at that. Look at them. So right now, my macronutrient and micronutrient profile is pretty comprehensive in the sense that I'm not having like a 65% carb, 15 to 20% fat, 15 to 20% protein. I'd say it's pretty well balanced with obviously a lenience and lean into my carbohydrate intake. But my overall macros are now going from 4,000 up to 5,200 depending on the day. And that's just based on my activity level. You can actually link your Apple Health to Alma. And so it can help you determine based on your activity levels throughout the day, what you need to add on calorie wise, and then also in proportion your macronutrients. So whether you have a Whoop, where you have an Aura, whatever you do, attach it to Apple Health, it will then also automatically upload to Alma your activity level, and then it will adjust your macronutrient profile for the day. And this has been pretty special for me heading into this HYROX block, because I've gone from doing my marathon block into this, and so having something that's adjusting my current activity level despite still being a training block has been really crucial. Listen to this. Oh, well. Oh. Oh. Caliente. I'd be lying if I was to say that the potatoes weren't the thing I was most excited for, to be honest. So got the Brussels sprouts, the chimichurri, which has got a lot of herbs in there, homemade aioli, the venison meatballs or beef meatballs, whatever you got. This is a great meal. This is an awesome meal. I've already had, honestly, there was 3 more potatoes here. I just decided to eat them. So that is my meal tonight. And as always, I know the principles around fat, carbs, and protein along with my micronutrients and where I'm at. But if you are struggling, download Alma. That's what we built it for. It's here to help support you, not just understand at the moment, but help adjust on the fly for what you should truly need. That's just illegal. Yep. HYROX isn't like a marathon. You have different levels of intensity and you're pretty much sitting in zone 4-5 the whole time. So it's about performing truly under fatigue. But just like running, you do have to establish an aerobic base. Today we've got an easy run hitting around 7:45 to 8-minute miles or around 4:45 to 5-minute Ks. My pace goal for HYROX will be 3:50 to 4-minute Ks. But in order to get that, I also have to build that aerobic base. Fortunately, because of marathon training, I've already got one. It's now maintaining it and then bringing in intervals throughout the week. So that's 5 miles, 8 Ks, easy, done. As we build into this mini block for HYROX doubles, what's interesting is I've come from a marathon block, be it like a hampered injured one. But what you're looking at is time on feet, and 8 kilometers, 39 minutes, so just under 8-minute miles. You're realistically just getting your body used to, just like you would a marathon, the time it takes for you to be on feet during these races and endure like a running effect. We're gonna have a lot of interval efforts and then Metcon efforts, which will be zone 4 simulations for a HYROX effort. This is where these easy runs become super crucial. And your volume's not gonna be that big each week comparable to, say, a marathon block, but 8 Ks, easy, vital for your HYROX sessions. Hey Alma, can you add in my power bowl this morning, please? All right, team, that brings us to the end of today's video. My hope is that from this episode, along the entire series, you're getting a lot of takeaways and a lot of value for yourself. Ultimately, whether you're training for HYROX or any other event, you should have a plan in place. If you're really following HYROX specific for this series, Eric and I have a goal we need to hit in order to go to Stockholm. Then we break down, because of that, what we need to do on our runs, what we need to do on our stations, and so you guys can be doing the same. That is how I'm applying my training programs. That's how I build out my periodization. Later in the series, I will train with Eric and we'll show you specifically what we mean. And not to be absolutely left out, next week we are training with one of the Elite 15, so do not miss out on that. It is the man himself, also top 3 competitor in doubles pro elite. Jake did, and him and his coach are gonna break down everything that I'm doing I'm gonna train truly to his simulations, so it's gonna really challenge me. So do not miss out on that. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel, because we will see you next week where Jake Dearden may or may not kick my ass. See you, legends.